Hello, today we are bringing you the Becker County Road Show from up north at Max Voss's barber shop, and we will be talking about Ogema days that are coming up in the days past of Ogema. Now Max, you were born in Ogema.
1933.
1933, and Ogema was founded in
1907.
1907. And who founded it? Was it it's a railroad town, right?
The railroad, when the railroad come through, I think all these towns, Ogema, Callaway, and Waban were all on, when the railroad comes through, that's when they organized from a township to a town. And my grandfather used to have a hotel in Ogema, and he had, a lot of the people used to stay in that hotel as they come to Ogema, like Jake Larson and my grandfather's mother's side, the Vosses. And he managed the elevator, and he was the first constable they had in Ogema.
Well, you know, looking at pictures of Ogema, they had a big main street. You know, it's so changed today.
Well, a lot of it went by fire. The hotel that my grandparents used to have, Everett Henderson used to have at his store, and it burned down.
And it burned down?
Yeah. They had 4 grocery stores in town. Yeah. One time they had Crocker store, Jaskin store, Pembroke store, and Henderson Tart store.
Well, what caused the big boom in Ogema?
Well, I think the local farmers, I remember when they used to come to town and they had a hitching post up by where Johnny Larson had the hardware store. There was a hitching post on that side. There was a hitching post down by the old lumber yard.
Yeah.
And they used to come to town. Farmers would come to town. They'd put a triple box on their sled, and they'd bring in their cream and their eggs and stuff to be candled. Their eggs to be candled, and they'd take them to the grocery store, have a couple drinks, and get their money and stop down to the gas station, and they'd buy kerosene for their lamps and stuff. Sure. Stand on the south side of the gas station there and spin a little yarn. I don't know, that's what I call it, but most of them call it BS. They would spit snooze there, look like somebody crapped out by the barrel.
They missed the barrel?
My ma, no, by the kerosene barrel.
Oh, kerosene barrel.
And my ma would say, go out there and shovel some fresh snow on there. It looks awful out there. After they got done and they left, you know. Sure. But I think the big thing is all the farmers used to get together, and we used to have roller skating up above the Supernant. Supernant had the beer joint. We had roller skating up there, and they had dances up there. And Whiters helped Ogema a lot because you couldn't drink there.
Okay.
Ogema could drink. They could have alcohol there, so they'd come to Ogema. That helped Ogema a lot. They had 4 bars. Each one of the bars had what they call an ice house.
Sure.
It's filled with sawdust. Yeah. In the wintertime, the barkeepers would get a keg of beer and get a bunch of guys that wanted to do something, and they'd go out to Net Lake or go out to Whiters Lake, and they'd cut blocks of ice. First, you had a place in Detroit Lake, Addison Miller Ice Company, if you wanted to buy ice. And they'd get that keg of beer and put their ice up for the winter, for the summer months. They'd go into there, keep their beer cool and stuff, because they never had electric coolers.
Oh, okay, sure, they wouldn't.
But they had a municipal liquor store in Bob Ann's bar. Supernant had a bar. Bill Nant, you know him from Detroit Lakes, used to have a bar. His was whiskey though, hard liquor. And they used to have a little restaurant they called Grace's Cafe. We had, that was right by the flowing well. We sold pie and ice cream for 15 cents. Coffee, pie and ice cream. And then we shagged beer bottles. And we'd get 2 cents a piece for beer bottles. And if you got a nickel, you could go in there and you could get the Grace's Cafe and get the pyramid ice cream, 3 ice cream on the bottom, 1 and 2 more on the top, and then 5 scoops for nickel.
Oh my.
So
those were the good old days.
yeah, and we had a barber there. His name was Charlie Ledoux. Just as soon as we got out of school, my ma would give us each 15 cents and we'd run up there and he'd cut all our hair off. We used to swim in what they call Ogema Lake. Actually, it's called Duran Lake.
Where is that?
That's just north of Ogema.
Okay.
Then they had a block factory down there that made all the blocks for the Ogema school. That was high school until in 1920. I had 2 aunts that were in that class. My aunt Harriet Voss and Isabel Tennis. And they were sophomores, and I think that was the only time they had the high school. They got up to the sophomore year in Ogema. Same school that's there now.
Okay, same area. Okay.
Yeah. The same school that was there.
Same school.
It was there until they broke it up the last couple of years ago, and they built that new one down there 4 years ago.
Well, today we ran out of time on the story of Ogema, but we will be back with more stories from Max Voss, who has a wealth of stories on Ogema.